Hello, my name is Caitlin Green, and my presentation is on the similarities and differences between the Spanish flu and COVID-19. Now I am going to talk about background information for the Spanish flu. It occurred in 1918, and the flu took over in 3 waves. It affected 500 million people worldwide. This was a huge pandemic. Also, the Spanish flu was a virus. However, scientists and doctors thought it was bacteria. Now for the background information for COVID-19. The virus started in 2019 towards the end of the year and continued on into 2020 and led to a worldwide quarantine. So far, the virus has infected 145 million people. This is a huge pandemic as well. First, we are going to talk about the symptoms of the Spanish flu. The Spanish flu had normal flu symptoms such as headache, sore throat, fever, fatigue, and chills. Then in the second wave, the virus got much worse. It caused people to suffocate. Liquid was getting into people's throats, making it where they could not breathe and causing them to suffocate. Now we are going to talk about the symptoms of COVID-19. There are many symptoms for the virus, and they are very similar to the flu. There's fever, headache, nausea, sore throat, and fatigue. It also affects many people with respiratory issues. During both the Spanish flu and COVID-19, both governments had similar reactions. They required quarantines, they started shutting down certain places and businesses, and also they started social distancing during both of the viruses. These 2 presidents were in charge when both viruses broke out. The president on the left is Woodrow Wilson, and the president on the right is Donald Trump. Both presidents worked hard to keep the United States safe during the pandemic.
The start of the coronavirus pandemic, Mr. Trump has downplayed the severity of the problem.
Woodrow Wilson trying to minimize the Spanish flu epidemic.
Pretended it wasn't happening.
Despite public warnings against mass gatherings, President Trump is encouraging thousands of people to gather for a fireworks display.
Woodrow Wilson encouraged public events. He told mayors and governors to have military parades.
This is a flu. This is like a flu.
National public health leaders saying this is ordinary influenza by another name.
There's no reason to panic at all.
The Surgeon General said if proper precautions are taken, you have no cause for alarm.
Donald Trump is pushing the debunked conspiracy that coronavirus was man-made in a lab in Wuhan, China.
People began blaming the Germans, claiming they were spreading poison clouds or that Bayer, which was a German-owned company, had infected their aspirin.
The president suggested Americans could inject themselves with disinfectants to ward off COVID-19.
The disinfectant would knock it out in a minute.
Snake oil salesman had a field day. Vicks VapoRub also advertised itself as a remedy for the flu, claiming to stimulate the mucous membrane to throw off the germs.
Despite the alarming spike, many people still refuse to wear masks.
Cities recommended face masks, though many residents didn't take that suggestion seriously.
Masks are mandated here. Not everyone likes the rule.
You guys are violating federal law. You get that?
One woman declared the ordinance, quote, absolutely unconstitutional.
Thousands protested mandatory masking measures.
Are you going to allow the government to tell you you have to wear a mask?
As you can see from the video, there are many similarities between COVID-19 and the Spanish flu of 1918. Other similarities include people wearing masks. Also, during COVID-19, many people were asked to make masks at home and donate them. Just like during the Spanish flu, people were making masks at home to wear out in public when they needed to go. Next, hospitals were filled and the economy was suffering from places being shut down. These pictures were taken during the Spanish flu. As you can see, everyone is wearing a mask. These pictures were taken during COVID-19. As you can see, people are wearing masks and are social distancing. The picture on the left was taken during the Spanish flu, and the picture on the right was taken during COVID-19. As you can see, during both pandemics, people were having to close down businesses due to both of the viruses. In both of these pictures, you can tell how both of the viruses affected hospitals. Hospitals were filled all the way and were trying to take care of each person, and they were filled completely. Now we are going to be talking about the differences between the Spanish flu and COVID-19. For the symptoms, the Spanish flu caused people to suffocate. In the second wave, this occurred where people's lungs were being filled with liquid and causing them to suffocate. However, COVID-19 did not cause anything like that. But some other symptoms of COVID-19 were loss of taste and the loss of smell. Now we are going to talk about the main people who are affected by each virus. During the Spanish flu, the main people that were affected by the virus were people that were in their prime. It attacked people that were fully healthy and in the best condition. However, with COVID-19, it has mostly been affecting people in the elderly generation. It is people with respiratory issues that are having the hardest time with the virus. The world was affected by the virus completely different in 1918 by the Spanish flu compared to COVID-19. In 1918, it was towards the end of the war, and people were coming home from the war, and they were having parades, and so everyone was around, and the virus was kind of looked over. However, COVID-19 affected the world today completely different than it did in 1918 with the Spanish flu. People were working and had many jobs and were working hard. However, when COVID took over, all of a sudden, people were not able to work, they were struggling to make money, and that is why the government had to take actions, such as the United States giving out stimulus checks. Another difference between COVID-19 and the Spanish flu is now we have advanced technology where we can make vaccines to stop the spread of the virus. However, back in 1918, people did not know what a virus was. They thought it was bacteria. That is why they were unsure of how to cure people.